the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And coming up on your news now at 6, from grassroots to out of pocket, the race for Senate in Maryland is certainly heating up. Our Leonard N. Fleming will have a look at who is eyeing that seat.
And the local utility provider raising rates next month. We've got the consumer advice to stretch your dollar tonight.
And the DEA calling it the greatest threat to Americans. Fentanyl killing more Americans, more than car accidents, COVID, and even cancer. A look at the shocking numbers.
And hello, my friends. I'm happy to see you on this Tuesday. I know it was kind of a dreary one, but now we are tracking clearing and a big time warm up. I'll have your 7-day forecast in a moment.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 6 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Tasmin Mahfouz. And breaking now at 6, former President Donald Trump has been found liable of sexually abusing writer Ejon Carroll.
Yeah, defaming her after she made her allegations public. Now, the verdict orders Trump to pay Carroll $5 million. Jurors, though, rejected Carroll's claims that she was raped by the former president. The verdict was announced just 3 hours after jury deliberations began.
Now, Trump did not attend the civil trial and was not there when the verdict was read. And in a statement on a social site, the former president called the verdict, quote, a disgrace and a continuation of the greatest witch hunt of all time. He has vowed to appeal.
Well, DC utility prices are rising next month. That means more expensive start to your summer.
Yeah, but as DC News Now's consumer reporter Ben Dennis tells us, there are recommendations to stretch your dollar at home. And Ben, first tell us why rates are rising and how easily can people cut those costs?
Hey there, guys. Good evening. Well, it's Pepco that will be raising their rates next month in June. And all eyes are where? Yeah, to the lines. We're just outside of a substation in Northwest DC, and it's Pepco's standard service that will reportedly be getting more expensive. And residents' utility bills are about to get pricier as consumers start to pump out the air conditioning inside of their homes with these warm months. The DC Public Service Commission says electricity costs could rise up to 14% for Pepco customers next month, possibly more if proposed changes to distribution rates are adopted. And it's the generation rule that will rise kilowatt hour. The DC Public Service Commission says residential customers will pay more than $12 on average monthly, plus what they currently pay. And small commercial customers will see bills rise about $30 every month on average. And among local consumers, one Pepco customer told us how he personally cuts costs and feels about rising rates.
I think it's outrageous because you got food prices, everything. For Pepco to do that, you got people who got COPD, old elderly folks who's on fixed incomes. You know, they can't stand that price hike. You know, senior citizens, even people who raising kids. You unplug everything that you possibly unplug, like the microwaves, and you really don't want to unplug your computer at night.
And the district suggests these cost-saving tips. First, switch your ceiling fan to run counterclockwise. Some science here. That's because a downdraft is created to cool below. And energy-efficient Energy Star labeled appliances can help save long-term. Plus, consumers could set habits to turn off lights periodically and use natural light instead. And switch to LED or CFL light bulbs. In the meantime, there's more ways to stretch your dollar. DC and other municipalities offer cost savings when it comes to utilities. We have those resources on our website at dcnewsnow.com. Just go to the search bar and search for discounted utility bills. In Northwest DC, Ben Dennis, DC News Now.
All right, so we felt a dip in temperatures today. Let's check in with our chief meteorologist, Janessa Webb.
Yeah, Janessa, cooler temps won't last, though, will they?
No, we're going to make a slow incline going into tomorrow, and then it gets even better as we go into late week. Okay. Actually, this front ran out of the DMV fairly quickly, and so we're seeing some milder air currently in place. Let's take a live look outside right now. Actually seeing some glimpses of some sunshine, and so that's a good look with this fast-paced cold front and area of low pressure pushing out of our region. We're no longer weather, talking about the rain. I don't want you to get used to that, though. We do have rain back in the forecast. I want to look ahead into the weekend just to prepare you for that. Let's talk about the good news. Right now, the moisture has made its way into the Chesapeake Bay. You're seeing a good amount of high pressure now trying to build in from the west. We'll sit under mostly clear skies going into the rest of your evening. Yeah, we're talking about the 70s right now. So really a transition of our winds happening in Frederick, Maryland to Westminster, and you're going to get much of the same as we go into tomorrow as well. It is slightly cooler across northern Virginia. You do have a bay breeze coming in from the Potomac across I-95, Spotsylvania, Fredericksburg currently in the lower 60s, metro area 67, and so we'll only hover in the middle 40s going into later tonight. Rainfall, it was slightly impressive. We saw about a 1/10 of an inch, definitely beneficial here in the district, about 33/100 of an inch out towards Fauquier County into Manassas Park. High pressure building in. We're talking about the 80s, a big time warm up. I'll show you that extended forecast coming up.
Vanessa, thank you. And it's National Fentanyl Awareness Day. Montgomery County Police is recognizing the day by sharing the deadly threat fentanyl has on the community. Now, since the start of this year, Montgomery County Police says that there's been a 52% increase in overdoses, responding to 114 incidents so far this year. And of those, nearly 30% were fatal. The DEA notes that fentanyl kills more Americans than terrorism, than car accidents, and cancer, than COVID, killing 200 Americans every day.
Well, law enforcement agencies in Virginia also reminding the public of the dangers of the potential lethal opioid. In the Shenandoah Valley, a regional task force has seized $2 million in illegal narcotics, and it's led to nearly 200 arrests. They've also confiscated more than 36 firearms over the past year associated with drug trafficking. Officials said the potentially lethal consequences from fentanyl are often ignored by those addicted to illegal substances.
It's nothing to mess around with, and it only takes a small amount for someone to overdose. Even someone who's using heroin on a regular basis and has built up a certain level of tolerance, that fentanyl will cut right through that tolerance.
The Regional Drug Task Force has also confiscated significant quantities of methamphetamine, heroin, and cocaine over the same time period. Well, the Frederick Health Hospital in Frederick, Maryland recently announced job cuts.
Yeah, however, the hospital administration is quick to point out that while vacant positions will be eliminated, no layoffs are planned.
Yeah, DC News Now's reporter Anay Simmons has more on how it could affect patient services.
150 jobs. That's how many vacant positions officials at Frederick Health Hospital plan to cut, and an additional 40 positions are being restructured. Time Klein-Hansel, the president and CEO of the hospital, says the cuts won't interfere with daily hospital operations or patient care.
What we've focused on is more back office, I would say, administrative type support roles.
Klein-Hansel says the health industry is constantly changing, especially since the pandemic.
COVID, it's been very disruptive, and a lot of inflation trends, a lot of workforce issues in many industries, and healthcare is no exception.
He also cites advancements in technology, including telehealth, as options to reach patients. Klein-Hansel says the adjustments will not affect patient care, diagnostic services, or ER wait times, particularly since the hospital is not making changes to clinical positions. However, it seems some local residents still have concerns. Alan Hernandez says he's sad the hospital is losing those jobs he thinks are needed in the community.
Honestly, I feel more bad for them because, everybody needs work, especially in the medical field. So.
And Mark Saldana agrees.
I think that FMH cutting 150 jobs, I feel like it's kind of unnecessary. I get the whole telehealth thing, it's better, but I just feel like it's pretty unnecessary. But
Klein-Hansel adds 75% of workers accepted the new restructured position, while others accepted a severance package. Reporting in Frederick, Maryland, Anay Simmons, DC News Now.
And with the COVID-19 pandemic officially over, Maryland-based biotech company Novavac says they'll be cutting 25% of its workforce. Now, in a statement, the chief executive said in a press release that the decision was a difficult one, but necessary. The company said it's focused on updating its COVID vaccine for the fall.
Developing right now at 6, more than 200 employees across West Virginia on strike at several Coca-Cola bottling companies. The workers are members of Teamsters Union 175. Their contract with Coca-Cola expired on April 25th. They say they were negotiating with Coca-Cola for a new contract for several weeks before the strike. Now, last month, Teamsters unanimously voted to reject the company's latest proposal. They claim they were not receiving the same wages and benefits as non-unionized workers. And one of their biggest concerns is Coca-Cola's agreement with Sheetz. As part of that deal, Coca-Cola is set to ship products directly to Sheetz for distribution in a warehouse out of state. Coca-Cola employees say they're worried it'll put them out of a job.
It's kind of a slap in the face to me personally, and our older guys that, we worked so hard for years, and the way that it's been and been so good for this company through the COVID and risk our lives and not receive, we receive no employee appreciation bonuses like other people in the company, but we've done the work, and it's really disheartening.
All right, so after that strike became official, Coca-Cola releasing a statement saying in part, "We are disappointed the union decided to take our teammates out on strike, but remain committed to working with them on equitable resolution. We have a solid plan in place to continue serving our customers."
Yeah, new tonight, the sweepstakes for a U.S. Senate seat in Maryland, and the first one to strike a seven-figure statewide ad buy is U.S. Representative David Trone.
Yeah, his commercial dropped on the same day. Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks announcing her candidacy. Our political and government reporter, Leonard N. Fleming, spoke about this following race. And Leonard, really looks like it's going to be an epic primary shaping up.
Yes, indeed. And millions are expected to be raised and spent for candidates who want the seat of outgoing Senator Ben Cardin. And Representative Trone thinks that he has the edge with his own vast fortune to tap into.
The most important thing folks really want to hear is that you're not owned by anybody else.
David Trone says this is why he's spending his fortune to try and win Senator Ben Cardin's open seat in 2024.
The fact that we can resource it myself means I don't have to take any money from PACs, don't take any money from lobbyists, no money from corporations. Then he can make the decisions that are right for Marylanders.
Trone's campaign commercial, which seeks to humanize him, came on the day Angela Alsobrooks jumped into the race.
I'm Angela Alsobrooks. I'm running for Senate.
She traced her family roots from South Carolina to Maryland and her career from prosecutor to county executive.
Look, I get it. There aren't a lot of people like me in the U.S. Senate. People who live like, who think like, and who look like the people they're supposed to represent.
Alsobrooks joins Trone and Montgomery County Councilman Will Jawando and activist Jerome Siegel.
Trone is going to spend in an unlimited fashion. No one else is even going to come close.
Larry Sabato runs the Center for Politics at the University of Virginia.
Because whatever they raise, he'll double or triple it. So that's his great advantage, that and having served in the House of Representatives.
A campaign spokeswoman for Alsobrooks says she isn't a multimillionaire who can spend 8 figures on ads, but she has always fought for families like the ones she grew up with. I spoke to Jawando last week.
This will be a race. It'll be about ideas. It'll be about who's going to work and get around the state and talk to voters.
Trone says he will connect with voters given his impoverished upbringings.
People see your values. They see that you're started with zero. You know what it's like to struggle.
Congressman Jamie Raskin, who just finished his last round of chemotherapy for cancer, hasn't made a decision on a run, aides say, but is also mulling a run. Reporting from the studio, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now, back to you.